Okay, abusan for ha TV ya number so na like no comment na wa share ama oni aside enye bi ahwe. Na enansem no Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no akọ on the international stage. Say omo hosti I say a friend of Africa Caribbean summit bi. So na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia san question bi o say lady ya odaso. Ono bisa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say eh how are they going about gender equality in Ghana? Because I bet one of the problems in the world to normal bisa na Dr. Mama Bere the intelligence submission here the atuja. Yanko the konko tiemra ade ne nsem no atuja no.
We're going to get an African perspective. I am coming to the audience. We're going to get an African perspective on gender equality. And I'm going to go to Your Excellency Bawumia first, and I will come to Professor as well.
Well, thank you very much. I think that the point is made. In Ghana, for example, you are close to about 52% of the population as female. And so that is the majority population. Historically, the whole issue has been exclusion. And if you're going to get the type of development that you have to get, you definitely need inclusion. And therefore, you need to create gender equality. One of the vehicles that we have used in Ghana, for example, in creating gender equality is in the area of education. One of the things that we saw was a high level of dropout of females when you got to the secondary level. And usually, because of the cost of secondary education, many parents were unwilling to give, or unable to bear the cost of that education. And usually, the females tended to suffer in the choice matrix of whether you go, which of your children goes to school. And so when we came into office in 2017, we instituted a policy of free senior secondary education for all. And so we've done that for since 2017, and it has just been remarkable. You've had, hundreds of thousands of children who would otherwise not have had senior secondary school education now enrolled. But what is more important in this context is that you've had more girls enrolled than boys. And so whereas you had inequality or gender and parity within the school mix before, we now have virtual parity between boys and girls in secondary school enrollment.
Omanfo the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia pese ochire and say who say he be son about gender equality because gender equality I say a man and mema oh omo enema omo ye ebede ebebembembe wona ye underestimate a ma so I say ha iti we e no dey same to no say yeah Ghana dey kwan ye fa so ago about here dey na say who say historically e no come like since tete no yeah idea of schooling was like it was a man go school or bad there also say kitchen that was mentality yeah na na no no omudi nyini it you know we had a generation where a man educated but a man yet the enko school sana na I order of the day but now no fast forward coming to our generation no we are speaking about what gender equality say obey go school also about go school and with this now introducing still na girls need to be in school because of what uh parents need be no money scale to your school fees so it is a oba bema no oba ba onye scale to mu na school fees into say ne bema na ye de enko school no oba na ye de entina fee so because ono your oba so with this no Dr. Mamu Mia ene Nanado Danko Kubu don pipi aban mo ba ban mo 2017 and we introduce free education and where free education was introduced no no a man and member near day nyina timi go school because parents into school fees ti the answer akwara be sesa no man no say the okwa akosua de ebe me na duane adi obenya ba bi ada free so it with this no ama mmaa bebree ayɛ dɛ atumi akɔ school when it comes to Ghana to yɛ sɛ mmaa no dodoɔ ne mmarima no dodoɔ no yɛ dɛ ɛyɛ ayɛ dɛ abɛn ho a obi ayɛ dɛ ɛkɔ school so there will be a generation where the gender equality will be seen sɛ mmaa yɛ educated mmarima nso yɛ dɛ ɛyɛ educated. That is what he wants to imply over here. For
And that is very, very important as you try to create a more gender, parity, more gender parity in the society. I mean, recently, that is last year, I think, one of our girls' schools won the World Robotics Competition, beating out, countries such as Germany, South Korea, the United States. And we think that part of this is there's the opportunity because some of those girls having the free senior high school education would not have had all of that. And we expect to see that happening. Another area of
so such as it, introduce free education and STEM. What's a STEM in under free education? Introduce one of the girls STEM school and then Germany, South Korea, and US, those big countries go kushia on competition on robotics. And Ghana girls in there more it is a Ghana girls with this kind of potential and then community kitchen. Mahama mamu na omu parents interest school fees omu ntimi go school and then no, we've seen the potential of the girl child because of free SHS. So it's gender equality na bi no we nya mema na koyo a man na ye sake of STEM girl STEM school na do dan kwa ne Dr. Bawumia amamu aye the I establishing and na auto ne nsem no so ne enko enkoti
of getting inclusion is in the area of financial inclusion. When you look at the data, you tended to see that most of the people who did not have access to bank accounts were female. And so what we have done is introduce, because most of them have mobile accounts, and we've introduced mobile money interoperability, which makes the bank account interoperable with the mobile account. And so with that interoperability, I mean, most people now, about 90% plus of the population now have access to bank accounts. And that means more females have access to bank accounts than before. Then you have the whole area of maternal mortality and how you bring down maternal mortality by.
okay I see another area also air finance who's there yama me phone do na no money bank account ɛna ɛma kasa yɛ sɛ bank sɛm na because of na ɔmo education background no from it no ɔmo fo sɛ bank kɔ de sika kɔto hɔ nom a obi bedi nti na ɔmo kipi ɔmo sika a ɔmo mpa ase na ɔmo pilo ase so but with the introduction of mobile money no who sɛ afi na maamefo no nyinaa ne mmaa no nyinaa ɔmo tilted towards mobile money because ɛno deɛ wɔ ne phone so obehu ne balance on ne phone so nti ɛte sɛ ne phone ne sika ne da ne nkyɛn wɔ fie so nti Dr. Bawumia ɔmo baayɛ no ɛna ɔmo hu sɛ no if that is the case there ɔmo introduce what the banking system and then the mobile money no the events mobile money interoperability no no more linking the banking system to the mobile money sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a in the long run no or mobile money there but not our bank account in the same way and go back keeping the sika na then sika na that's one there but next can the head bank. So this is where they introduce the mobile money interoperability I say no obi a linking the momo na the am the bank account so in other words no you see no a man be bree the bank account because of the mobile money interoperability. This is what the vice president wants to imply. Okay, and
Making sure that especially in the rural areas, mothers who are giving birth have access to critical black blood supplies during birth and all of that. Ghana, following Rwanda, has implemented a policy of drones to deliver medical supplies, vaccines to very remote areas. And today, Ghana is the world's largest medical drone delivery. Most people don't know that, but that is where we are, and we have about.
So I said the other area also the maternal mortality. I can say maternal mortality. Say a man no kwa so na omo lose blood and then because of say health personnel na nnuro ne saa nneɛma no nni hɔ no nti no access to healthcare no nni hɔ nti no bebree naa yɛ dɛ ewu those days because of who say most remote areas na wɔ kurom anom sɛ saa na ɔmo nni health personnel so and because of that no na maamefoɔ no kɔ awɔ so a na bebree na afiri mu and with that no Ghana introduce what the zip line, that is a drone na it deliver what nnuro hanabi so say ɛno na ekotwa obi nakedness ɛwɔ adwaeɛ no that was the visionary leaders what idea ɛna ɔmo introduce yɛ afei na ɔmo sɛne nnuro de ɛkɔ nkuraseɛ so and because of that no a day ɔmo tumi sɛne nnuro over thousands ɛkɔ different areas so ɛkɔkɔhwɛ apemfoɔ ne ɔmo a tete nkuraseɛ no eti with that no ama what mortality of children a yɛwɔ wɔn no yɛ dɛ ɛkɔ fam nkwa no a yɛwɔ wɔn no mo awu ne maamefoɔ no mo fifiri mu no ne nyinaa yɛ dɛ ɛso ate so in all of that no aboa mama what gender equality ne yɛ dɛ ɛkɔ so yɛnkɔ ne yɛnkɔ tie ne nsɛm ɔka saa asɛm yi na afei mpɛn gurus a ɔmo ba gathering na se na obiara start bɔ ne nsɛm so you see that you see the intelligence and then the vision of a visionary leader. Come on for interest.
6 drone centers, and each day you have about 100 flights from each of the centers, and each flight is saving a life. And that is what you see in Ghana. Rwanda also has drones which are delivering medical supplies. But this tells us, for me, that Africa can be in the lead. And the Caribbean we can be in the lead when it comes to the technologies, because we don't have legacy systems, and therefore we can really leapfrog in many areas. And this is one area I think that we can all do that. But I think that the more we use technology to build an inclusive society, the more gender parity we create. And that is how we should proceed.
So, but so say pay the analysis our kind of believe say include more technology in our economy system now. Ebeboa amade gender equality no so ide akoso. So Dr. Bawumia believes in technology, and technology is the order of the day. Is what is controlling what the world. It is a leader or into technology or appreciating the fact that technology is the order of the day. And then it is on my name calling him. For a TV Ghana, who's our comment section on the kind at the amount macram.